Why are we here? We're here to learn about the 80-20 principle. I think it's one of the very few things which actually really is a magic pill, a pill that actually works. It's the observation that there are few causes which have great results. 20% of causes will lead to 80% of results.
So most things actually don't matter at all. They're relatively insignificant.
We expect the world to be balanced in terms of causes and results. We expect all events and causes to have roughly the same significance. But the reality is very different.
There are some forces in the world which are incredibly powerful and which are going to determine most of the results.
And if we can isolate what these few things are in our work, in our companies, and in our lives generally, then we can be much more effective because we're using the leverage or the power of the most powerful causes in a particular event.
And if you believe the 80-20 principle, then you could sort of think about your work in a completely different way.
If you can focus on a relatively few very profitable products, you can increase the average profitability and lower the average cost of your product.
20% of customers will give you 80% of your profits.
So you may need to recategorize who your customers are before you can actually decide who the most profitable ones are.
We've never been so free, yet we have never failed to realize so much the extent of our freedom. We've never had more time because we've been freed by machines and by the wonderful progress of industry and science. And yet we never have felt more pressured.
Today, we work probably about half the hours that our forebears used to work in the middle of the 19th century. And since then, the gross national product of the UK per capita has gone up something like 100 times. So, productivity is not related to hours. Value is not related to time. You reach a point at which you not only hit diminishing returns, you hit negative returns in terms of working. And it's all part of this idea that you stop thinking when you're working very, very hard.
A hard-working person is often too busy to spot what is really important.
You need to maximize your discretion to work how you want. And the way in which you maximize your discretion, you need to be quite crafty about it. One thing to do is to make sure that you're delivering what your boss wants. Select just one priority each day and you tackle it first. At the beginning of the day, work out what is the one thing that I can do in a relatively short period of time, in hours or in minutes, that actually is going to have a major impact. Progressively reduce your work hours so that if you have a smaller pot of time, then you're forced to be more effective.
This is a very easy way of actually making a big difference in your company.
One of the questions that you should ask yourself is, which single powerful idea will turbocharge my career? How do I achieve much more with much less? What constraint is most holding me back? Basically, you've got to be curious, ask questions. The point isn't the 80 and the 20, it's the very few powerful causes and the large number of almost completely irrelevant causes.
And the way in which you get insight, which can be very valuable, or information which can be very valuable, is by going to the distant part of the social system. What on earth does that mean? It means people who move in different worlds from you.
You're trying to find the really powerful things which really work well, the horse that you can ride.
Thank you.